Only the good Lord can speak to me and say, Jamila, it's time to be a mama. Hello to everyone who clicked on this video. Thank you all so much for watching in advance. Today's video shall be interesting. I do want to excuse any sounds that you may hear outside of my voice. They are uncontrollable. You may hear lawnmowers, you may hear an airplane, you may hear a truck, a car, but please bear with me and forgive me. Today we are going to discuss a few things on motherhood, mainly my personal feelings about motherhood, where I stand at the moment, how I'm feeling for the moment. So thank you all again, and let's go ahead and get started. So if you don't know, I am over 30. I am married. I got married at like 28, I believe. And I don't have any children, and that is by choice. Okay, that is by choice. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. I have a few feelings that I want to share, and I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, y'all get on the internet and y'all tell so much of y'all's business and y'all talk so much. Baby, this is not for me, okay? This is for all of us who may share the same sentiments, who may be going through the same things, and who may just be feeling the same way, okay? So a lot of times we aren't sharing things for us. It may be, I want to share, I want to make sure I'm not the only one that feels this way. I want to make sure that if I can, I'm helping somebody out or making someone else feel validated in the way in which they feel. Let me spit out this gum. So I wanted to start by discussing my current feelings about motherhood. I think I have like 4 main feelings. The first one is fear. Okay, and these might be in order. Okay, these may just be in order, but there is like so much fear surrounding not motherhood per se, but the birthing process. Okay, the childbirthing process for me seems very, very scary and daunting. I feel like I've heard every single horror story that has been shared. I've heard them all. It seems so scary, so just painful. So, I mean, it's just so much fear in the childbirthing process, number one. I mean, you hear the screams, the yells of all the moms who post their like labor stories or labor videos, and you like hear like screaming to the top of that, and that's just so scary. That is just so scary. And then we ain't even gonna talk about the fear that comes with actually having responsibility over a whole new a whole other person. That is like so scary to me. So the first feeling I'm currently feeling, and I have been feeling, is fear. Okay, and I know growing up in church, God hasn't given us the spirit of fear, but I can't admit that like saying this out loud makes me feel a little bit better. Oh, bear with my hair, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing with my hair. Okay, so that's the first one. It's the fear of it all. Secondly, age. With my age, you know, there's this pressing issue of the internal clock that's ticking, tick, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, ticking. And it's like, oh my gosh, how much more time do I have? Okay, have I ran out of time? Am I running out of time? And then you have, you know, of course you have your Halle Berrys and your Janet Jacksons that have had babies like in their 50s. So girl, the internal clock is ticking, and yeah, I'm thinking about it. As far as like my personal, I do want to touch on it being a personal choice. I just personally I just haven't felt ready to be a mother and to have a child. Like mentally, I have not yet been able to wrap my mind around that concept that I will be raising somebody. And here's the crazy thing. My whole like upbringing, I was gung-ho about having 7 children. Where's my thumb at? 7 children. Okay, I wanted 7. But now if, you know, if it's meant for my husband and I to have a child, I'm good with 1. Okay, I'm good with uno. But yeah, I did want to put that little piece in there as well. So of course we have the feelings of fear, the feeling of like time is running out because of the internal clock that only women have. Why don't men have that same clock? Girl, let's not even talk about it. My battery is dying, but I have 3 batteries all charged up. So I'm going to put this into y'all. So I'll be back in a jiffy. All right, so fear, internal clock, my personal reasoning, and so next up we have anxiety. I get a slight anxiety at each thought of being a mom, and it's for very specific reasons. And I'm gonna start whispering because I, for one, love it when people whisper on the internet. I just think it's like, oh my gosh, I'm in on the biggest secret ever. But y'all, to be honest, I don't know how to put this, but I'll say this. Based on my relationship with my mom, it gives me anxiety of being somebody else's mom. Some of the feelings that I've had to undergo, it scares me to think that I could have a child who I could make feel the same way. Yeah, I don't know how much I want to get into it. I have shared a little bit in the past, but basically, whoo, child, I just could not imagine. And you know, here's the thing. Let me be a little transparent. So I am the oldest child of a single parent. My mom raised myself and my brother as a single parent. We did go to our dad's side of the family and spend the summers. We did visit almost every summer. But for the most part, my mom raised us by herself. And I grew up poor. We grew up poor. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm gonna, moving forward with this conversation, I'm just gonna say because sometimes there have been instances where I will bring up like a memory and nobody but me remembers that memory. And so I'm just gonna say okay, I grew up poor. But as far as like I've experienced the house not having lights, or the house not having water, the water being turned off, the lights being turned off, the power being turned off, the bills not being paid. I have worked my entire life until this moment right now. This year right here is like the first year I've not worked since I was of age to work, which was around 15, where I had like a real like paycheck job. So with that being said, it's my mom and I's relationship, which is good for it. Like right now in this moment, it's pretty decent. Would I like it to be different? Yes. Or would I like it to be better? Yes. But I'll take what I can get. You know, I'll do the best I can with what I got. I've also spoken with my mom and told her, like, sometimes I feel guilty for the life that I have because she, to a certain extent, didn't get what I have. Like, I don't know, I don't want to get too personal, but sometimes I've literally asked myself, like, why do I deserve to have a husband, a great husband? I don't know, I don't want to get too personal, but all of that stuff, I feel like for so long it literally gave me crippling anxiety. But girl, I have to be honest, it's that anxiety of potential bad relationships with your child or children scares me and makes me sad, and it makes me anxious, and it makes me like think like, girl, you know, it's just so much, y'all. And like for me right now, that's where I have been. I have been very high anxiety when it comes to that particular topic. I don't want to get too personal, but I will say I know there's somebody out there who knows what I'm trying to say without actually saying it. I know there's somebody out there who knows what I am thinking without saying it. But yeah, I did want to share a little token, a little piece of that, and to be just transparent and honest, that I don't know, that might be a tie for first place as far as like the main feelings that I have been experiencing. Okay, all right, y'all, and I think I have one more feeling that I would like to share, and that is a feeling of excitement. Like, it's all exciting to like to imagine yourself as a mom and a little baby or a little clone of you or your husband. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to have a little baby, my husband, that looks like my husband or acts like my husband. So that would be cute. You know, that's all, you know, good and dandy, exciting, and something to look forward to. For me, my husband and I need to be on the same page. And I think we shared on our on our joint channel before, like at one point it was me that was like, oh my gosh, I would love to have a baby. And then my husband was like, no, I'm not ready yet. And then my husband was like, oh, I'm ready. And then I'm like, no, I'm not ready yet. Okay, not anymore. Me personally, both of us want to be financially set. Like, me being who I am and having gone through what I've gone through, like, I'm the type of person I would want for my child to have, like, by the time they graduate out of high school, they got money saved up so they can choose what they want to do out of high school, whether it be college or start a business or whatever it is. That's the type of stuff I'm on. That's the type of stuff we are on, like generational wealth or generational financial literacy, generational peace when it comes to finances, and to not be stressed out and living paycheck to paycheck. I can say all of these things. I can literally list all of these feelings, but we can't even skip over the fact that life happens. Like, the idea that anything could happen is the scariest thing. Okay, that is the literal scariest thing. Anything could happen, good or bad. And it's like, at this point, you gotta rebuke bad. You gotta rebuke any bad thoughts, negative thoughts. But they still occur. They still happen. So that was my spill on my feelings, y'all. I did mention in my vlog before last that I wanted some questions. I think I only got one set of questions, and that's from my girl Lissa T. I'm pulling them up right now. Hopefully they're in here. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I got 4 questions from her. The first question asks, how do I handle family pressure? Personally, Marcel and I again, I don't want to speak for Marcel, but I would say that I don't really feel like I've experienced any pressure for real. Not for real, except for like my mama asking like last month or the month before, have I thought about it? And I'm like, baby, no. Or, yeah, of course I'm thinking about it, mama. But, girl, how do I handle it? I just answered the questions. If I'm asked a question, I'll answer it. There was a non-family member who made a comment to Marcel and I like some years ago. I think it was like right during or before the pandemic, or like right at the beginning of the pandemic. Somebody made the comment and they were like, oh, so y'all just being selfish. And we laughed it off, but then we were like, wait a minute. Did we just get called selfish because we are choosing to like live out our experienced married life? We're coming up on 5 years. Experience our 5 years of married life and experience each other and enjoy each other. We're being called selfish. But we laughed it off. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I feel so much pressure. The only pressure I feel is the internal clock. How do I know the best timing? Right, girl, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the best timing? Oh, I did find some questions, some websites that have like good questions that it's like titled questions you should ask before you have children or before you get pregnant. And a lot of them ask like, are you financially ready? What does it take to be a mom or a parent? how will your life change? So I think once you have covered the basis of accepting that your life will be totally different, finances will be stretched further than they've been stretched already, and you're ready to take on that responsibility, I think that's when the timing will be right for me. Oh, which leads me to the next question. How will my life change? How will my life change? I just feel like my time will have to be seriously managed and scheduled and on point, which I'm already like that, but I want to like buckle down and get very, very, very disciplined when it comes to time management, because I know that's what it's going to take to like be the best parent, be the best mom, if that's what God has for my husband and I. Oh, you know what I wanted to mention? On my husband and I's joint channel, we were starting to get a few comments that were like, oh, it's time for y'all to have children. It's time, it's time, it's time. And it's like, when you're dating, they're like, oh, it's time to get married. Once you're married, oh, it's time to have a child. Once you have one child, oh, it's time to get them a sibling. Once you have 2 children, you know, it's always something, very much something. But basically, I responded and let the lady know. She made the comment and said, it's time for y'all to have children. And I said, are you know, only God, for me, only God can tell me when it's time, baby. Only the good Lord can speak to me and say, Jamila, it's time to be a mama. So I don't need you, ma'am, telling me in the comments what time it is. Because I didn't ask you. But of course I didn't say all that. But she did send my husband and I an email. And she questioned my health. She was like, maybe it's something health. No, ma'am, it's not. And God bless anybody who's going through any type of health issues as it pertains to pregnancy and motherhood. But don't put that on nobody, ma'am. You know, put on that we need to have a child, and then you want to say, oh, probably it's more than likely, or whatever. She mentioned health issues. It's not a health issue, ma'am. Some people just are choosing. A lot of people in my generation, like, I look and I feel a little not happy, but I feel a little understood when I see women speak on being of the 30s and 40s and no children by choice. And I feel kind of validated in that, because at the end of the day, we're not all the same. We don't all want the same things. I didn't get married. Like some people, it seems they get married to have children. I didn't get married to have a child. Okay. I got married because I was in love with my husband. And I do go in and out of my country accent, y'all. It's like second nature. I've always done it, and it's fake. I don't talk in a country accent, but I'm sure I did at one point because I am from Alabama. But yeah, like, ma'am. And I know, here's the thing. I do want to also add, I know people don't mean any harm. But if you're going to say it every video, ma'am, you don't have to say we need to have children every single video. And even in this lady's email response, she was like, I mean, I did leave it on in your comments a few times. If you left it in there a few times, at what point do you think it's enough, ma'am? When is it enough? When is enough enough? Anyways. Enough of that tangent. But yeah, I think it will be, now that's another piece of excitement, but all of that stuff is exciting, like the time for decorating and all that good stuff, but we shall see. Children cost money. No more shopping trips. Girl, if I can't have no more shopping trips, then I don't know. What I want from my life is to be able I would love to maintain the lifestyle that I live, which I don't do too much. I'm always looking for a bargain. I'm always shopping the sales. I very, very, very seldomly splurge, and by splurge I might buy something that costs $100. I don't think I've ever bought anything that cost more than $100. Might have been $150. 200 during the stimulus time. 200 during stimmies, when we got those stimmies. But girl, I'm not into the spending. Like, I like sales, I like bargains, I like miniature items, I like miniature perfumes, I like miniature purses. Like, I don't like spending a lot of money. I like to save money, and I like to have experiences, but I would hate to not be able to do my little shopping trips. I just would not like that yet. So I don't think that's in my future. You know what, I hope that's not in my future, to where I won't be able to do any more shopping trips. I would not like that. I don't know. I feel like if this is a journey, if this journey is meant for me, then I feel like, and this is with anything, you gotta walk with the Lord, okay? You gotta walk with good Lord, okay? Because every step of the way, whether it be pregnancy, childbirth, infant stage, toddler, and me, y'all, I am an avid reader. I'm an avid researcher. I love researching, so I feel like I'm just gonna be enthralled in gaining all the knowledge about all the things, like toddler stage, adolescence, and young adulthood, and then being able to, like, I feel like with our generation, and I'm gonna end on this because I don't want to keep going on tangents, but I feel like from what I see on social media, the conversations I see that are being had on social media, it looks and seems as though a lot of millennials are struggling with their relationships with their parents once they reach that adulthood stage. And so when I say you gotta walk with the Lord, you gotta seek wisdom in how to maneuver with that. And I try to ask my mom questions myself, like, what is it like to have birthed a child that was a baby and now they're an adult? And it's like, I don't know if my parents or my mom's generation can distinguish between the two. And it's like, I know when it comes to parents, I know that they say, you will always be my little baby or something, maybe, but your grown adult child is no longer a little child. They're grown. And it seems like some parents struggle with that concept, struggle with what that looks like, struggle with expectations from their adult children, especially when it comes to single parents. I feel like single parents are a little bit, like, they struggle a little bit more, whether it be expectations, responsibilities. And so I'm thinking about all of those things, and, like, again, if I'm meant to be a mother, I want to make sure I have considered all those things, and I'm doing my best to be the best person through all of that, just walking in wisdom. I feel like I'm tiptoeing over, like, topics because I don't want to make this into something that is not. I hope I haven't gotten too personal. I have put this video off a little bit because I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about this stuff. But if I'm being honest, all of these things have to be considered. All of these things have to be taken into consideration. So that's where I am on the topic, y'all. I don't know if I want to complete this by saying I would be good either way, but sometimes, I'll say that, sometimes I feel like I'll be good either way, whether I have children or not. I feel like I'll be fine, but I feel like that's maybe like 45, 55, oh my gosh, can't wait to be a mother. 45, I'm good if I'm not. I hope those numbers aren't too large. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for making it to this point and part of the video, the end part of the video. If you have any further questions, please feel free to ask. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that whoever this video is supposed to reach, that it reaches. And I hope that if you are a woman watching this video and you're around the same age range or have the same sentiments, I hope you feel validated in knowing that I possibly share those same feelings, those same sentiments, and you are not alone. I mean, that's one of the main things I feel like life can have you feel sometimes, like you're so alone, you're the only person experiencing this, until you share it out and you're like, wait a minute, you're like, wait, you're going through that too? You feel that way too? Oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I cannot wait to talk to y'all again. I can't wait to chat with y'all in the comments. Take a little screenshot and post a link to the video so other people can watch. And you know, support the brand. Is it a brand? Support the movement, support the vibes, okay? Support the vibes. Support the vibes. Bye, y'all. See y'all in the next video. Bye.